What's up YouTube, Spideyvan here coming at you with another comic book video. So this time I'm going to do a how-to video, I guess, on how to crack open a CBCS slab. So I got this kind of idea from watching ETA Nick and a couple of other great YouTube channels. A lot of those guys have a lot of great content and targeted more for, Silver Age and Golden Age type books and things of that nature. ETA Nick is an awesome resource if you're looking for just great information around market value and protecting your investments and things of that nature. But in any case, I am preparing to get a book signed for an upcoming con, and I actually need to crack this case open because I'm sending it to a friend to get it signed for me. So shout out to Weeklar and your buddy Geo. They're going to help me get this book signed at C2E2 by one of the celebrities, Alicia Silverstone. So rather than having them, kind of go through the tax of having to figure out how to crack open the case or going to CBCS or CGC to, crack it open, I figured I'd just go ahead and get it done myself. This is a current CBCS case. It is a little bit thinner than your traditional CGC case. Did I say CGC or CBCS? Yeah. Anyway, they do have these two clamps here. They have one on this end that you can see, and then you've got one on this end that you can see. So a lot of how-to videos tend to show, sort of cracking open the side of the case, which is another good way of opening it up. I think ETA Nick does that, but I think formally the way that CGC opens cases and facilitators is through these tabs here. I'm going to use this tool right here. It's called Gerber, and this is the box in case you guys are curious how it looks like. And by the way, this video is not sponsored by these guys by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm going to use this, and I think it's just basically you kind of like hook it up here into its edge, and then you lift it up. And so this is the first time I'm using this tool. Hopefully it works, and if it doesn't, then you guys will learn with me. So just going to apply a little bit of pressure. Yeah, well, there we go. Easy. And see how it splits open? So I did that on one side. Got to go ahead and do that on the same side. Again, see how there's a little ledge here, and then there's a little hook. So I'm going to stick the hook up to the top, lift it up, and I guess just going to pull it up until it has a little crack. There you go. Awesome. And that's it. So that's it. It's perfect. No cracking or whatsoever. So there's my Batgirl 28, Joshua Middleton. And I have seen some CBCS cases where they're already sort of cracked open. And this is it, pretty much. I guess you can just slide the book out. Yeah. So you definitely don't need to crack the bottom two. And that's it, guys. So this is the book. You can see the inner. A quick look again at the case here. So as you can see, the case is completely intact, very neat, no shards. If you've ever sort of used a flathead screwdriver in the past, it's a much messier way of opening up a slab. So yeah, guys, I can even attach this back on, and it'll clip back to its normal original state. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side, and this is part 2 of the video now. All right, so we'll go ahead and take a pause if you guys want to take a break, and part 2 will be all about freeing the book from the inner well. All right, so welcome back, and for those of you who stuck around, thank you. So now I'm gonna go ahead and free the book from the inner well, and to do that, normally if I had all my tools, I would go ahead and use both a ruler and cutting blade, because I don't have the most precise cutting technique. But there's a number of ways that you can do this. If you want to preserve the label, I'd suggest cutting with the razor blade from here to here. Alternatively, you can also cut it from here to here. And what I always like to do is put the book on a cutting board or something. In this case, I'm just going to use a backing board since I have fairly limited supplies here. So yeah, you can see there's a little dimple here. So this book is probably going to need a pressing when I submit it to CGC. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and cut open this inner well. We'll go ahead and do this like this here, okay? You can hear that squeaking, and I think I'm getting to the edge of the board here. So you can see that first time that I did the line, it's already making a crack through, so that's good. That's encouraging. I'm going to just move this up since my board is a little bit shorter, and just continue with the cutting here. So I did that all the way through, and it is perforated. So if you want, so you can see the book is already freed from, well, they cut a little bit deeper here on this side. All right, there we go. So that's it. And again, I'd highly recommend, since we are dealing with a book that we eventually want to reslab, just give it enough space so that you can pull the book out, but that you're not going to damage the book either, right? So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to cut a little bit more on the ends here so that it fully pops, right? Because there is a sealant here on this end, there's a sealant here on the top, and then there's a sealant here on the right. So on the right, I can smell the freshness of a new modern comic book. Love that smell. Open. And I'm just gonna, again, my hands are washed. And I'm gonna pull this out slowly. You know what? Before I do that, I just want to make sure that the encapsulation is not gonna bend that corner as I pull it out. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this open even more, just in case. I think you can never be too safe, especially if you're gonna cut open a there we go. Okay, and maybe even to okay, so there we go. We got a fully exposed corner on this side. Yep. Let's try to see here. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's it. Pull that slide. I always like to go for an area that's white as opposed to black. I mean, again, my fingerprints are clean right now, and that's it. So the book is freed, and what I'm going to do next, guys, for part 3 is I'm going to go ahead and replace this comic book and put it in a clean bag and board, and then prep the book for the signature. So stay tuned, guys.